Hey guys. All right. It's just a thing. If you don't know about it, don't worry about it. We're going to work at a different technique this week. Really brief, I'm going to run over the leg drag, but particularly I want to get into what we call the dope mount, which is where you're starting to pass someone's guard and then you end up in mount from there. Really taking away all your partner's opportunity to regain their guard. So, look, most of you have seen leg drags before. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's just basically when you're passing someone's guard, you're pulling their leg across. However you want to do your grip, some people like to do it this way, some people like to do cross grip, grab the collar, some people just dive in and shut the hips off here. However you like to do it, as long as we get their hips smeared across, that's all I'm really worried about now. We can do a leg drag video in more detail another time. So we're getting to this position which I've heard called when I was in the States, a lot of people refer it to like a dope mount, okay? Don't know why, but that's what they call it. So, once I'm here, now, if I start to drive across here, I'm going to smear Nate's hips, okay? Now, if you've got someone who's really, really strong and they start pushing back into your hips, so push back here, don't push back force against force. So if I get to here and Nate starts to push back, I go up and then I jump across to really start to torque their hips. Don't just try and push back, especially if your partner's heavier than you and possibly stronger than you, okay? Now, the other thing is when you get to this down, don't have this foot hanging out because they start to lift it up and start to play 50-50, ankle locks, whatever. Hide your foot under here, okay? Once I get to this dope mount spot, I like to put a lot of pressure on this far knee with my hip. Now I start to look for an underhook. Now I've got really good angles to get underhook and crossface. Driving a lot of weight. Now I keep walking like a clock. Keep walking like a clock, stretching Nate out. Now I come over the top here. But as I come over the top with my leg, I want to pick up his far arm. So I go doom, pick it up and drive my knee right up to the ear here. Okay, so again, I'm taking a lot of power out of Nate because his whole spine and hips are torqued. So a strong guy, you do take away a lot of their strength. So this is why I like it so much. So we're here, you're starting to smear the hips, okay? You're staying low, you dig for this underhook. If they're fighting it, it's very easy for me to get this angle. Pick up the far arm, keep walking, knee over the top, shut it down. Now I want to come up into an S mount, straight away. My knee's really tight into the shoulder here. I lean on my leg that's on this side, my near his ear, and I bring my leg all the way through to like an S, okay? Make sure when you're doing S mount, your upper leg is straight across their rib cage. So you do not want to be facing like a normal mount. You want to face like a 90-degree angle here. Okay, so my leg is all the way to the upper ribs here. The secret about holding a good S mount is just keeping their elbows off the floor. So I get a pinching action here. See, pinching away. Now I can start to look for subs, but I cook it for a while, especially because a lot of guys here who are training at Limitless, they're very strong and young and aggressive, so I've just got to cook it for a while. So I sit on top, balancing side to side, no rush, no rush. Now, ideally the first arm bar that's present is the one that's on your hip side. So this would be on my leg side, on my hip side. So if that arm's on top, great. I just reach through and grab my own collar. Now, there is that standard arm bar where you sit back and fall. If you really like that arm bar and you're strong at it, you can go for it. But I get concerned falling back to an arm bar. There's a chance for someone to escape, especially if they know what they're doing, right? So instead, I'd rather shut that down and have a bit more guaranteed arm bar. So instead of coming here and falling off, I just lean across. Notice how I'm picking up Nate's shoulder as I do this. So I'm here, lean across, knee on the mat, so I've got a lot of balance, hand out here. Now don't bring my foot over, I just bring my knee over the face and pinch my legs together here. Hold in the collar, then just have my hips forward, and there's a super tight arm bar. You do not have to fall off. You stay on top, they feel your weight, and if they have to tap. It's a strong arm bar with really hard to sort of find a spot to escape with that one, all right? So that's my like go-to when I get to S mount. So I'll do the whole thing again. You've gone from your leg drag, however you like to set it up, or however you got into a dope mount, you know? Some people like do things like this where they might have it in between their legs and they're passing, they turn their hips and dive through. Okay, once we get to here, this is where we're starting to look good. Don't rush here. As long as you keep smearing their legs, you might even be real nasty and drive with your head to really flatten them out. Keep walking, pick up the arm here. Very hard for Nate to fight that back because I can be real aggressive with the top of my head here. So he's feeling very uncomfortable. That's what you want to do. You want to take everything away, especially if you're fighting a stronger opponent. Your knee comes on the floor. Now I come straight up to S. So lean, keep this arm up, straight to S. Now, a lot of you guys can see the straight cutting arm bar right here. Maybe you'll get that, maybe they hide that hand, no problem. Now, I put my far knee on the mat, my S knee, grab my collar. Don't bring your foot over, just bring your knee over the face. Hips, boom. Finished. See, my hips are coming forward. If I had Nate's hand to my chest, it'd be really destroying his arm. So there's the basic attacks from S mount. There's other ones which I'm going to do next week from the other side arm. There's triangles and everything. But first we're just going to look at how the S mount works to my favorite, the easiest arm bar that's available. Okay? Thanks guys, thanks Nate. I'll put a video up next week with more attacks from S mount.